Hi, I'm Andy and welcome to my channel about crypto. In today's video, we'll look at the current market situation, what's next for Bitcoin, and what impact it will likely have on altcoins. And I'll talk about few altcoin gems which I think have huge amount of potential for the coming weeks and months. So let's dive straight into it. Let's start with Bitcoin first as usual. If you watched my previous video, I talked quite a bit about the need to test 20-week SMA. Bitcoin's support band, which is this purple line on the chart. And we looked at the possibility of these weeks here earlier in September being the only test we'll get. But at the same time, I talked a lot about that not really being sufficient test, and ideally would like to see something more. And we've certainly seen this week. So pretty much all of this week, or majority of this week, Bitcoin's been constantly testing, or almost constantly testing, its support level, which is currently just over 40 grand, 40,600. This price will vary a little bit depending on what exchange you're looking at, but yeah, it's sort of 41,000 range roughly. And we had some dips to as low as, I think, around 38 or 39,000, again, depending on the exchange. But generally we stayed above that 40k level. So what does it mean? Does it mean that we survived the test and the price will go up from now on? I mean, from what we can see today, we have a green candle, most likely will have a green candle, may still change. But let's zoom out and have a look at the last time we were testing our support level. And that was pretty much exactly same time last year, September, October last year. So if you look at this period here from the 3rd of September until, well, we didn't really start proper move up until the 8th of October. Well, that was exactly a month worth of testing. And we had quite a prolonged, around a week-long test at the beginning, a bit of a move up, another shorter test here, a couple of weeks of sideways movement, and then move up, which did start actually quite slowly. I mean, really, it was only 21st of October when we had this big candle up, which brought us above the levels we were at only couple, oops, sorry, it was this candle here. So yeah, only at that point we started moving about the previous levels from August. So in other words, if we go back to today, I think that this is not the end, as in this is not the end of the test. I wouldn't be surprised. So if we go back to today's situation, well, we are certainly testing that level, and I think the next few days, maybe a week or two, will be absolutely crucial to how the next few months will look like, essentially how the end of this year or the whole of Q4 will look like. Because if Bitcoin can hold this level, so can stay above, well, let's call it 40k, if we can stay above that line and then start moving up towards 48, 50 grand and above that, there is pretty good chance that this was the test, and from that point onwards we'll be going up. And in that case, I would expect there's pretty good chance that we may reach the previous all-time high, or in fact put a new all-time high later this year. I don't necessarily think that means the end of this market cycle, at least for Bitcoin, will be this year. I would still expect that to happen at least early next year, if not towards springtime. But certainly we can expect quite a nice solid move up in the next 2 or 3 months. However, if Bitcoin doesn't hold this level and breaks below it, well, we can pretty much forget about putting new all-time high this year, let alone pick of this market cycle or anything like that. Basically, what will most likely happen then is short period when we will stay below that line, and breaking below it, by the way, I mean dropping to sort of 38,000 level or below for at least few days in a row or having weekly closes below that level. If that happens, I think we'll have probably shorter version of this summer, essentially a lot of sideways movement, a lot of uncertainty, and then we should expect the market peak to be somewhere in mid to late 2022 rather than early 2022. Personally, I think we'll hold this level. There were quite a few occasions where the price dipped quite a bit, and that roughly 40k, whether it's slightly below or slightly above, let's call it 38 to 42k, seems to be very, very strong support level. Even if price does dip to those levels, there are a lot of buyers who will scoop it up at that point. I mean, Bitcoin dipping below 40k means probably ETH dumping again to around 2,700, Cardano to around $2 or so, maybe even below, and so on. These are price points at which a lot of people are quite happy to add more coins to their bags. So, and let's not forget that general feeling is that we are far from the end of this market cycle. There are a lot of really bullish news coming out. We had recently an article published where it said that 81 of top 100 public companies are using blockchain technology to some extent. And that's not just researching the use of blockchain technology, that's actually using it. We had news about PayPal app supporting crypto, allowing to buy Bitcoin and a couple of other cryptocurrencies. In the UK, Royal Mail app also allows to do the same thing, allows to buy crypto. There is more and more wider acceptance of cryptocurrencies. I think we are still early in this market cycle, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we'll just go up. There is a possibility that the price may dip, or at least that we may go sideways for a little bit. I'm expecting for the price of Bitcoin to go up, but let's see how it goes. Whatever happens, it's really important point in this cycle now to think about accumulating altcoins. Because if the price of Bitcoin goes up, if Bitcoin holds this level and starts going up, then essentially these will be the last days or couple of weeks to add more altcoins at reasonable price level. So what will happen next is, as the confidence in the market grows, people will start scooping them up, and essentially, well, this is your buying opportunity to get them at relatively low prices. Of course, if Bitcoin crashes below the support band, well, that will mean that altcoins will crash as well, probably somewhere between 50 to 90%, depending on the particular coin, which is not too bad if you're investing in solid projects which haven't dipped much. Like, for example, I mean, Link's been holding pretty solidly above $20, $20 to $25. Cardano, even when it dips only to about $2. Kotti, it's been performing really well recently. It hit new all-time high recently because of its partnership with Ardana and Cardano. Essentially, they will bring stablecoin and payment facility to the Cardano ecosystem. So coins like that, even if they do get hit, they will likely recover very nicely, and the hit shouldn't be too bad. But if you look at some other coins which, for example, Orai, that was trading in sort of $25 to $50 range for a long time. If its all-time high, I think around $100. Now it's struggling to get above 10. Well, if we have another big dump, that will likely get hit so hard that it may struggle to recover. At the moment, the price is ridiculous. It's not even $7. So you have to be very careful what you invest in. If you're investing in projects that are already in the gutter, well, the price point at the moment is great for buying, but you have to be prepared that if we have another dump, these projects will get really hard and it may be quite hard to recover your money. On the other hand, if we hold the line, then, well, these are great buying opportunities. So let's have a look at a few projects I'm interested in at the moment. So overall market is pretty red right now. These are not huge dumps, but yeah, it's bouncing up and down, but there is still a lot of uncertainty in the market. I mentioned Kotti briefly. It hit its all-time high only yesterday, actually, around 66 cents. I've been massively bullish on Coty for quite a while. If we look at 1 year, I mean, of course, like most, started really low. It had a really nice pump here earlier in the year, then a big dump, and then, well, it recovered quite nicely, and then this last peak was driven by the recent news during the Cardano summit. So, as usual, by the rumor sell the news, there is pretty good chance that it may dip a little bit now, but it's a massive project, so I think Coty will grow a lot in the coming few months. The market cap is around $500 million, so it's not exactly small market cap altcoin, but still plenty of potential for growth. Something definitely worth looking at. Although, to be honest, currently, if you're looking to buying, well, we are still very, very close to the peak. I will be probably tempted to wait a bit more and see if the price will go down a bit or not. As well, this was a great buying opportunity here, sort of between 10 cents and 30 cents. Right now it's a bit high, but at the very least keep an eye on it because it's a great project and there's a lot of potential there. CDFI fund, when it loads, there you go. Great project. It's a launchpad for games. It's on Binance Smart Chain, so essentially it has few really solid points going for it. It combines gaming, which is really hot right now and, well, hot in general. It's a launchpad, which is generally good project to invest in because launchpads not only gain value by itself, but also if you have enough tokens, they allow you to participate, either increase your chances in participation or guarantee participation in IDOs or IGOs, essentially initial coin offerings where you can get new project, new coins at a very, very attractive price, and you can quite easily make 20, 30, 50x gains and even more. Generally, of course, not all launchpads are equally good, but they're generally worth looking into because of the opportunities they give. And this is one of my favorites in terms of launchpads and gaming launchpads as well. Small market cap, 50 million. It's still about 50% down from its all-time high, so plenty of potential for growth. And I'm pretty sure we haven't seen the peak of crypto gaming yet. I think there's pretty good chance that peak of crypto gaming may not even correlate with the peak of the market cycle, because peak of the market cycle will be largely driven by speculation, not necessarily the actual use case of various projects. While when it comes to gaming, well, people will play games regardless whether it's bull market, bear market. A lot of the gamers won't care or won't know where we are in the market cycle. So from the utility point of view, I think this is massive. I hold some CDFI. I'm looking to buy some more. Yeah, low market cap, great use case. I think this will grow massively. I can easily see that going into multiple hundreds of millions. So another 5 or 10x from this point is, I think, is quite easy. So yeah, definitely worth looking into this one. Altura, that's another project I'm really into. Again, combination of gaming, NFTs, and it's on the Binance Smart Chain, so that means lower fees, which from users' point of view, it's massive. It's had its all-time high only about a week ago. I've been talking about it for quite a while, actually, well before that all-time high. It's now down around 35%. So if you thought that you missed opportunity to get Altura before, it's not a bad price point to get into it. If we look at their website, their market cap is quite low. It's very low, in fact. Oh, there it is, 26 million. So yeah, I mean, that's nothing. I think when it was around 30 million or 30 something million, I was talking about it having easily potential to go up 10x. So yeah, I think 10x you should quite comfortably do 10x from this point. Charlie 3, This one actually took a bit of a hit recently because during the Cardano summit this weekend, there was partnership announced between Chainlink and Cardano, and Charlie 3 was marketed for a long time as the Chainlink of Cardano. Well, while there of course can be multiple oracles on, and there are multiple oracles on every blockchain, Chainlink is a huge one. So the announced partnership of course hit Charlie a little bit. So not sure where this one will go next. Market cap is very low, price is well below previous all-time high. So on one hand it's a great buying opportunity, but at the same time I'm a bit worried that the partnership between Chainlink and Cardano may have negative impact on this one. So I mentioned it a few times before and I was quite recommending it, but at the same time I also said that at the time the price was a bit too high. Right now I think the price is good, but in the light of the recent news I'm not sure how I feel about it anymore, so I thought it was just worth mentioning it anyway. And then Card Starter, launchpad on Cardano ecosystem. It had, if we look at it, it had a nice bump recently and then it dumped again. As we can see, it's way below previous all-time high. It was above $80, now it's around $13. So again, it's a great buying opportunity. It was getting a bit expensive at that point. Well, not expensive, it still had potential to go up a few times in price, but certainly at the moment it's a great buying opportunity. So I would consider that as well. So basically, just to sum it up, I think the next week or so will be absolutely crucial, not only for Bitcoin, but to predict what will happen in the next few weeks and months of this market cycle. Will we have really nice move up this year, or will the rest of this year will be largely sideways movement, and we can look hopefully at putting new all-time high next year. And then in terms of the altcoins worth looking into, CD5 fund, Altura, again gaming and NFTs, Card Starter, launchpad on Cardano, all I think really solid projects. And then Coty, not 100% sure on this one, as in the project is great, but the current price is quite high, so I would be a bit careful about this one. If the price goes down, definitely worth investing in. At the moment, it's definitely overall project worth investing in, but of course your return on investment won't be quite as high because the price already pumped quite a bit. So yeah, I think that's it from me for today. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions or any thoughts, please do let me know in the comment section. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.